What's going on, guys? Mimic here with another video, and just like that thumbnail said, this makes no sense. We are talking about the sword and shield buffs and the sword and shield gimps that they put out on this letter here that we're going to read. And this is a February 14th letter, literally just came out today. It's an update from the developers in Throne of Liberty, and we're going to be talking again about the sword and shield buffs and nerfs that they gave. I'm not going to read everything, but we're gonna get into the kind of like the meat and potatoes of it. So let's kind of just jump straight in. So they've changed a few things in the game here. I'm gonna drop this link in the description, so if you want to read it and kind of go through it more thoroughly, you can check out the link and read it yourself. But essentially this entire drop here, this update here, is strictly on longsword or sword and shield, and they've adjusted some direct damage abilities, and they've adjusted a little bit on how the counter barrier is going to work, which is the sword and shield kind of bread and butter. The sword and shield lives and dies using the counter barrier skill, so it's like their main skill, and we'll kind of talk a little bit about that now. So it says here that they are increasing the damage from all grades of longsword equipment, and they're increasing the approximately 20% based on non-enhanced equipment. So they are getting a buff essentially on all the skills that they do. All their damage is going to be increasing. This is chance for a victory. This is their kind of like their ultimate skill. It says here that at level 1 it used to be 615% plus 41. Now it is going to be, after the patch, 725 plus 49. So you can see they're a huge buff that they're getting on damage. And again, I'm not going to read all of them. You can kind of look at the graphs yourself, but essentially all the damage skills that sword and shield have are getting a buff. You can see here reply strike is 250% plus 14 right now. After the change, it's going to go up to 265 plus 21. So they are getting a significant buff there on damage. And I don't think this really makes a lot of sense for sword and shield. It's cool that they are getting some damage, but you will see kind of what's going to happen here as I keep talking a little bit more. So blow shield, which I think is shield strike, I believe, is they're increasing the damage and strike accuracy there, and then they're increasing the bashing accuracy increase per 1%, shield defense probability up to 20, and then before the change on a purple, so it's advanced is the green, rare is the blue, hero is the purple skill. So the purple skill used to be 110, now it's 120, so a slight buff there. And then increasing the damage by level, you can see here at purple level 1 it used to be 540% plus 90, now it's going up to 640% plus 106. So they're, you know, that's a pretty significant change, 100% more damage, and then obviously going from 90 to 106. That's pretty good. That's some good damage there. So sword and shield is going to be more DPS, but let's see what they're going to do as far as the tankiness. Resolute charge here, you can see here at the pink or purple level 1, it's 240 plus 113, but it's going to switch from 240 to 280 plus 113. So they're giving it 40% more damage that you're going to get on charge, and they did this across all of the skills. So every single skill literally is getting a buff except the main skill, and we're going to talk about that here. So shield throw again is getting another buff here, and you can see here at pink, purple level 1 right now it's doing 40 per victim. It's going to change to 60 per victim, and increases the bashing accuracy. So you're getting more accuracy per victim. So it's going to land more, in other words, which is good, which is a buff. Annihilation Slash, which is also a big damage spell for sword and shield, is getting some effects added to it. They're changing a little bit about how the cooldown works, and they're adjusting the damage based on the level and damage to weaken targets. So it says here purple level 1 currently it's 240 plus 19. After the change it's going to 280, so you're going to take advantage of 40% more damage there, plus a little bit more damage on top. And then damage to weaken targets is changing from 310 plus 23 all the way to 420. So 110% more damage plus 34 base damage. That is a gigantic buff on Annihilation Slash. And this actually does a pretty good significant damage already. So this is going to be like nice damage for the Sword and Shield. It's going to change the way they are in doing damage, because they are lacking damage right now. They really are. But again, they're tank. They're not really supposed to do a lot of damage, but we'll continue. And then this is kind of the main thing here, why I think this makes literally no sense, like Forrest Gump wearing his hairstyle like Lil Pump right here. The damage application method and hero grade special effects will be changed. Adjust cooldown time to 21 seconds. Adjust the shield defense probability level. So they're nerfing the probability level of you actually getting that shield defense, and they're adjusting the cooldown to 21 seconds. And you can see here at level 1 purple, which most people at least have level 1 purple, that's why I'm using this as a reference. It is 33% now is what you have as far as the shield defense, which is a passive shield block that you get while you're wearing Sword and Shield. It is going from 33% to 28%. So you're going to be blocking less on the shield. So they're taking the tankiness away from Sword and Shield, guys. You're going to be blocking less. It means that you're not going to be as tanky, okay? So, but they are giving you more damage, but they're taking away your tankiness, okay? So, I don't know if this makes sense, right? I mean, they are strong. They are very strong, and I'm not against it, but I don't know. You guys let me know your thoughts. You think this makes sense for tanks, for them to make tanks weaker? Let me know. They're adjusting the counter attack distance. So right now close range is 3 meters, and then after it's going to be 150% of the attack distance. The minimum is 3.37 meters. Range of magic is 12 meters, and then they're going to change it to 500% of the attack distance. Minimum is 11.25 meters. And then they change the way the damage is applied. So right now when you're hitting someone with counter shield, 250% of the damage reduction is what it's at now. Let me move this over here. Whoops, let me just scroll down. I'm gonna have to scroll down here. We're just gonna go like this. And then it's gonna be changed to 250% at rare level, 300% at heroic of the damage reduction within the amount of damage that triggered the counterattack. Counterattack damage cannot exceed the amount of damage that caused the counterattack. So what they're saying is it's a true counterattack. You can't ever do more damage than the damage that was done to you. Defense stat impact. Damage cannot be reduced by defense. So right now that's how it is. And then if we just scroll over here, you can see that it's going to be damage is reduced by the amount of defense ability of the hit person. So now they're incorporating your DR based on your defense ability of the hit person, which I believe is going to be your DR. So the more DR you have, the more it's going to be reduced based on that. I think it was different before. I believe it says here that it was damage cannot be reduced by defense. So before, your DR wasn't even being applied the way damage was applied. Now they're changing that. And then it cannot hard hit, which is your heavy attack. So hard hit is essentially heavy attack. They just have it set up like this because it's translated, right? But this is heavy attack. So right now, when your counter barrier attacks someone, it cannot heavy attack them. The cool thing that they are changing, though, the one thing I do like is that now it can hit. So that is pretty buffy. They are buffing it now. They took away a lot, but they at least gave you a double attack chance on the reflective damage, which I think should counter a little bit of the nerf that they're giving you. Now they're giving you heavy attack on the way damage is applied when your counter barrier is up. I think, you think about it. Think about a crossbow hitting you 50 times because they attack super fast. If you can now double attack on those, that crossbow is going to kill himself really quick because all those attacks are going to be double hitting. Now, I don't know if this scales with your current chance to double attack. Maybe it does. That would be cool if it did. You know what I mean? Because that would make Great Sword and Shield really good, because Great Sword has a lot of heavy attack chance on greatsword. So that would make greatsword, sword and shield really good because it can double hit. We'll have to see. We don't know yet. That would be cool if it did though. Let me know what y'all think. And then they changed the special effects of the hero grades. Right now on hero, which is purple level 1, effect duration increased by 3 seconds. So you're gonna get that extra plus 3 seconds on it right now. After they change it, the counterattack damage is 300% of damage reduction. So I think they're actually removing that 3 seconds. So it's not going to add an additional 3 seconds to counter barrier skill, which means you're going to have a greater cooldown period between when you're using it and when it's up again, because they're now decreasing the time that you can use it. So they're kind of nerfing you there, because now you're not going to be able to have counter a barrier up as much unless you're like maxing wisdom, maxing your CDR, maxing your buff duration. You may be able to offset some of it, but it looks like they are taking away 3 seconds of counter barrier, which is huge. So you know, sword and shield is not going to be able to live in your backline anymore for free for a long period, because they're going to have less time that they can have that counter barrier on, and healers are not going to want to step up to the front line because they're going to get blown up. So it's going to make sword and shield a little bit more trickier to play. You're not going to be able to go as deep, I think, and I think you're going to have to play more off the pulls and more frontline, in my opinion. And then it says counterattack damage is 300% of the damage reduction. So the more DR you have, the more it's going to affect the way your counterattack damage is. 300% of damage reduction, pretty good. It's pretty good. So reduces the cooldown. Okay, and this is mail charge. So yeah, that's pretty much everything there. I just wanted to talk a little bit about counter barrier. That's kind of the end of the note. There's some more costume stuff that they talk about, more stuff about escape and some local events and some updates on the UI guild UI, some more siege information, NPCs on codexes. And then obviously they go into their bugs and fixes here, so you guys can check it out. I'm gonna leave the letter link in my description, and you guys can check that out. But I did want to make this video because it's controversial. You know, Tank has been extremely strong this entire time, like almost completely broken, to be honest, and now they're hitting it with a nerf. How do you guys feel about it? Do you guys think it takes away from sword and shield? Do you guys think sword and shield is gonna not be good anymore in PvP? Are you guys playing sword and shield and you guys are upset about this? Do you think it matters? Do you think you're gonna feel it in the game? What do you think? Are you happy about the damage increase that they're giving sword and shield? Do you think it's good? Let me know. I'm interested in thinking and talking a little bit about what you guys think, and we can have a convo around it. If you haven't liked the video, smash the like button, helps me out big time, pushes my videos out to other people that may enjoy the content. If you have any comments, throw them in the comment section. I do reply to those myself, and if you want to give me some love, all you gotta do is throw me a sub. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I appreciate the support. Love y'all. Until next time, my friends. Peace.